There he is. This is a good fish right off the bat, folks. If I can get him out of there, this is a good fish. Golly. That's a good crappie. Let's get him over here and then we'll talk about it just a little bit. Look here, what a fish. Let's see if he's hooked. He's hooked good. Let's flip him in. Ooh, that's a good one to break the ice right there. Pretty, healthy, girthy, fallish looking crappie. That's a black crappie, by the way. That was the second cast I made, by the way. I was over 17 feet of water, let the bait fall around 5 or 6 feet, and boom, that fish was there. The reason I knew to let it fall 5 or 6 feet is because the shad are suspended 5 or 6 feet. Let me show you. Even out here away from the dock. See that? 5, well really 5 to 8 feet. And that's what I go by. I study them shad, folks. This is a baby Baller Z made by Z-Man. A Laz-Tech material. Cannot. It's almost indestructible when it comes to crappie fishing. Crappie are such a soft biting fish that one of these baits right here is capable of catching 100 or more crappie before you wear it out. It's amazing how many fish you can catch on these baits. So that's the reason I love to fish with them, because if I don't get hung up and break one off, I can fish with one bait all day and then the next day. I mean, it just keeps catching fish. But the color is blue, glimmer, sparkle. And I have a lot of different colors in this bag, but I may try another color or two this evening, but that color's been really catching a lot of fish for me. And I have it rigged up on a weedless jig head. That's a 1/32 of an ounce head right there. 1/32 of an ounce head with a size 4 hook. I have a tri-link, no, that's a Palomar knot that I tied in this one. Those are my two favorite knots. With 4-pound test line skipping under these docks, a tri-link knot or a Palomar are the only two that I'm gonna tie, because sometimes you can hook some big crappie under these docks. And that's a weedless jig head. Like I said, I make my own. I have it glued. 4-pound test Mr. Crappie high vis line, 6 foot IM7 graphite eagle claw rod, and a 2000 size Daiwa reel, and that's all we're doing. The water temp is 78.31. Water's cooling off a little bit. So let's get back in here and see what we can do. Elmo keeps gas. I'm going to tell y'all why. He eats lots of beans, okay? He eats a lot of turnip greens, and he's got a habit to go into Wally World, or commonly known as Walmart, and buying Pickles pig feet. And he eats those feet with those beans. He keeps an incredible amount of gas. It's hard to be around him. Okay, we're going to come on up here to the front of this dock right here. It's in 17 feet of water, or my boat's sitting in 17 feet of water. The first row of posts right there are in 16 feet, and then what it does, it tapers up at an angle till it's about 4 feet there at the wall. So that's all this is to this. It's just a deep water dock, or it's a deep water dock for this part of the country. Let's skip that bait up under there. Now I'm going to let it fall about 5 or 6 feet deep, because that's where that crappie was. 5 or 6 feet deep. Then I'm going to bring it back real slow, holding my rod tip up, and there's another fish. There's another one. There's a school of crappie under there. That one's a lot smaller. That one's probably about 8.5 inches long. But he was right there, 5.5, 6 foot deep, possibly 7. Now the reason why I say that is because crappie feed up, folks. They feed up. They see that jig coming. That's how good their lateral line is and their eyesight. Excuse me. Let's let him go. But they feed up. So in this clarity of water, I try to get within a foot or two from where I think they really are. But let's see if we can get that bait back up under there. I'm a little bit too far away, but I believe we can do it. Okay, I did it. So I'm letting it fall. As it falls, I'm watching for that high-vis line to jump, to thump, and it didn't. It just didn't. And the reason why it didn't is because actually I didn't get that jig far enough up under there. I'm way too far away from the dock. So we're going to let it come on in here a little bit closer. Or let's try it again. Now I might catch one right there. Let's let it fall. A 1/32 of an ounce jig falls about a foot a second. It's about 4 feet, 5 feet. Now, let's see what we can do. Very important to get that bait back up in there where them fish are. Which in this case is way back up in there. And that's why I prefer a 4-pound test line mono over 6. You can get a bait much farther back with 4-pound test line than you can with 6. There he is. Daggone. My goodness. I just had come up on this dock right here, folks. Slid that bait up under there, and it didn't fall but a couple feet, and boom. If you notice, most of these crappie are small. This is, like I said, typical. Let's let him go. Of this time of the year, but let's see if there's another one right there. Y'all ready? There he is. I didn't move that bait just a couple times and got bit again. It is so easy once you get a pattern going. But we've only caught two real good ones. Let's let him go. I hadn't caught a white crappie yet. Now we're getting a little bit close, but we'll still see if we can catch one. There he is. Boy, there's a wad of them. See, they're wadded up. They just wad up in a ball, folks. A real tight scoop. And the colder the water is, the bigger the school, and the tighter they'll wad up. Crappie are a schooling fish by nature. Okay, let's let him go. If y'all were me, would you not skip another bait back up in there just to see if you could get bit like that right there? Come on out of there. That's a good one right there. Had a hard time right there, folks. That's a good fish. I had a hard time with that one. Alright, that's a good fish right there. That's the kind I want to catch. But it's just, now it won't be long. When this water temperature falls 10 more degrees on the surface, here in my part of the country, there's going to be a lot of doggone good ones caught. This is going to be a good fall. I can tell you that's a healthy fish. Let's let him go. That's the kind right there. Well, I've been counting. Can't show them all. I've done caught 14 crappie right here under this dock. So the total crappie I've done caught in the last couple hours has been probably around 45 or so, probably. There's another one. Golly. Y'all can, I mean, there's no doubt, folks, this is an effective method of fishing or technique, and it will improve your casting abilities way up there. Look here, we're liable to catch another one right here. Look at there. How many fish is under there? I don't have any idea. But when you have a weed guard, when you put you a weed guard, start doing that in your jigs to do this type of fishing, remember you have to set the hook a little bit harder than if you didn't have a weed guard. So that's the reason why I'm putting a little bit harder hook set into it, is because of that reason. Now I've got several videos, but one in specific where I show how to make your own weedless head instead of paying a big price for 3 or 4 for $8. That's ridiculous, folks. That's a 40-pound test monofilament fishing line. That's all that is. That's all, and single stranded. That's all I use. And some of these shallower docks, and I may fish some of them today just to see if there's fish on them, but we'll have a lot of structure up under them. And that single strand 40-pound test monofilament weed guard that I put into these 1/32 of an ounce jigs will come through that heavy cover. You know, folks, I'm going to go ahead. I just retied my knot right there. Put another Palomar knot in it because I've done caught, there's no telling how many crappie up under that little section of dock. I've probably caught 25 total. In the last 2 hours, I've been fishing about 2 hours, I've probably caught about 56 is what I counted. 56, 57 crappie. Out of those 56, 57 crappie, only 2 of them were decent sized fish. That's typical this time of the year. The water temperature now is 79 degrees on top. And when it falls down there around 66 degrees, something like that, 10 degrees or more, or less than what it is right now, those big fish here in my area start showing up, the big crappie. But what we're going to do is we're going to move and see if we can't catch a couple bigger fish. I can't show them all, but I'm telling y'all what, I'm absolutely killing them. I've got crappie slime all over me. I'm done stinking because it's pretty hot. It's probably about 82 degrees right now. But you know, let's get busy and see if we can't catch a couple more, or maybe at least one more big one. I love it, man. They ain't nothing like the sport of fishing. A blessing? Oh yeah, it's definitely a blessing from the Lord. I'm using a different color right now, folks. It's Cajun Cricket is the name of it. Let's let him go. Doggone good color. I mean, it's chartreuse, light pink, and it has a little bit of silver fleck in it. And I tell you what, that right there is a color I have confidence in no matter what time of year. I try to keep everything natural. If the water clarity is clear, I try to stick to natural colors that looks like shad. You know, the whites, the sort of the purplish looking colors. Y'all know what I mean. Shad or iridescent. So there's a lot of different colors. Purple, blue, colors like that. But this color will catch them no matter what. Clear water, dingy water, muddy water. So you can't go wrong with Cajun Cricket no matter what, or I can't, in my opinion. There he is. This is a good one. This is a good one right here. I knew we'd catch another good fish right here. Let's flip him in here. Look at there, what a crappie. I did. When y'all walked out here, it was good luck. No, they're deep. So that's about a 11-inch crappie. Let's let him go. That's a good fish right there. I knew that'd be another good one. It's just a matter of being, I come back on this dock, being here at the right time. All right, skip it back up under there, folks. There's some good fish in there right now. Let's bring it back. Slow and easy, nothing fancy. You don't have to with this bait. And I'll show y'all why. This ball, right on the end of it, y'all see that little bitty ball? It makes the tail go just like that. Even on a slow retrieve. It's just a little tight wiggle, and them crappie can't stand it. Golly, that fish hammered it. I mean, that fish hammered it. Come on out here. Come on out here where we can get you. He ain't very big, but that was the hardest strike I've had. He just murdered it. Y'all probably seen that high-vis line jump. He meant to have it. Get on back in there and grow up 2 or 3 more inches. A lot of times if you'll leave a dock and come back an hour or so later, the bigger fish will probably bite, and that's exactly what happened. I caught 3 big fish, boom, boom, boom. Fishing is that way, it's unexplainable. I don't know how many times I've done that in my life. So what I done is I left fish. I fished some other docks, left it alone for about an hour, came back, just like I said, caught 3 good fish off of it, boom, boom, boom. But fishing is a lot of fun. Elmo don't like it because he keeps stinking gas all the time. I can't stand to be around the old feller. He stinks. It's one poot after the next. Just like clockwork. Shoo. Alright folks, what a blessed afternoon. I absolutely tore the crappie up. And the 2 colors that work for me with these little micro finesse baby baller Z jigs is the blue glimmer. You can see, which is a natural looking shad looking color. To this one right here, the electric chicken, which is a dependable color. It'll work in just about any clarity of water. It's an amazing color. And you know, the only thing I can say is I used 2 baits and they're still tied on my rods. So, you know, if you don't lose one of these baits, you can just keep catching fish with them. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments, everything y'all do. I appreciate it. I guarantee you that. Hey, this oh my goodness. Oh, the sun, hey, it's and remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for